Guys, just before we kick off, just wanted to go around the room really quickly, either type it in the box or put your hand up. Just wanted to basically see where everyone's at as far as marketing. You either have stuff going on and you're looking at how you can improve things, or you don't have much going on and you're looking to kind of get something in place. Just want to give us a type it in the box or give us a show of hands and we can drag you up. Just want to get a sort of feel of where everyone's at. If you can find the chat box, chuck it in there. Give us a 1 if you already have stuff going on, or a 2 if you don't have a lot going and you need to sort of get something into play. We've got a few things in the comments box here. So trying to improve quality of leads, don't have any marketing in place. Cool. Working on pictures, website signage. Awesome. Just about to start. Nothing going for us. Need help. Still all word of mouth. Website sorted. Need to start marketing. So little got to improve the website, social media. Cool. So we've got a bit of a range of people where you guys are kind of at. So what I'm going to do, guys, is cover off what we call the 3-strike marketing approach. Okay. Imagine this, the old analogy of having a 3-legged stool, right? One of the legs breaks off, you're most likely going to fall off the seat. And that's the same sort of approach that we've got for this. We want to make sure that we've got enough sort of feelers out in our marketing world so that we never kind of fall off the chair or ever have any problems with our marketing. So too often, most people that, business owners in general, not necessarily just you guys in the trade, all relying on either word of mouth or expecting, things to come to them, or they've got one thing working well, which is, a step above most. But what happens most of the time, even with us, is that marketing avenue can stop working or stop being effective or have a dry spell. Okay. And then all of a sudden you're left with nothing coming up, your pipeline dries up and you kind of end up scrambling and causing other issues like dropping your margin, trying to take on extra work and that type of thing just to keep the guys busy. So what we're trying to do is keep this consistency up top so that everything that flows down below it is nice and consistent, and basically means that you don't have to worry about, feast and famine or being on that roller coaster of deal flow. Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, I've got basically 2 things for you. I've got a bit of an agenda that we'll run through really quick. And what we'll do is we'll run through this, a lot of a high level overview, how it all fits together. Okay. Show you guys some examples because I'm very visual. I presume a lot of you guys are as well. I'd like to see kind of how it all fits together, not just theory. And then we can open up the room, do some Q&A at the end. Does that all sound good? Give us a thumbs up. Awesome. Love it. Cool, guys. So we'll rip straight into things. Let me just rearrange my screen here. Let me just share this. So I should be sharing my screen, guys, and I'm going to be looking the other way. So please don't think I'm ignoring you. You guys all see that there? Give us a thumbs up. Cool. All right. So this is the overall map. This is the entire marketing process for essentially what you need to have, right, in your business. This is the gold standard. This is the Rolls Royce. Okay. I know a lot of people are in different situations, obviously not starting, need to get something in place, etc. So I'm going to cover off all the different avenues and how they fit together and, different paths that you can take depending on where you're currently at. Okay. So don't let this overwhelm you. This is the Rolls Royce, and we'll dive in and zoom into a few different spots on this just so we can cover off different avenues. Okay. So what I mentioned before about our 3-legged stool, okay, we've got 3 main ways that people can come through to us, right? This is through our social over the left-hand side here. We've got our website, and then we've got referrals, okay? I'm sure you all know what referrals are and, probably get them coming through regardless, okay? What we want to do there is obviously put that on steroids, make sure that comes through more consistently, more regularly, and try and encourage that process and make sure that, referrals come through really consistently and from the right type of people. Okay, so we all know what that is. So we're going to spend a bit of time looking at how that fits into the overall picture so that we can do it in a more structured way. Because, how many people here have had a referral? All right, hands up. Yeah, awesome, cool. How many people have had a referral that's just gone dead or disappeared, right? Hands up again. Yeah, cool. So what we want to do is obviously work this into the process as well so that our referrals, the stuff that we already got going as well, actually fall into the same process. They get captured, we know who referred them, we know where they're coming from, and then we can process those people through in the same way. They have a good framing of how they come through the process as well. Okay, so we're just trying to make sure that we've got all of our marketing avenues covered off so that we can essentially make this really, really efficient, squeeze the orange, get every last bit out of our marketing efforts and not let anything fall through the cracks. So I'm a big marketing guy. I loathe salespeople because, marketing and sales, so salespeople always seem to expect, everything to come to them. They don't want to go out and make things really efficient. So what I've done through my marketing efforts, through TPB, through some of the stuff we do with members, is try and take away all that hard work from, following up leads and putting them through a process and making sure that we get all that efficiency. Okay. That all makes sense so far. We've got that one avenue, referrals, right? And that can be through architects or designers. It can be through, local networking groups like a BNI. It could be your 1% referral scheme. Okay, so 1,001 ways we can do referrals, and we can talk about that another day as far as all the different strategies. We've got a lot of these covered off on the membership site, and that's that one there. The other two areas that we can look at here are our social and our website, right? So we'll go over here to the social side of things. How many people have got social media, got a Facebook page, or got an Instagram, or got LinkedIn going for their business page? Give us, again, a show of hands. Cool. Okay. How many people know the effectiveness of their social media and how many leads they're actually getting from it? Hands? Yeah, cool. Okay. One hand out of the bunch. It's not bad. So the biggest problem with our social media, guys, is that everybody gets on the social media train. They start posting regularly. They, put a lot of effort into it. They've got guys on site taking photos. They've got buy a drone to do big, sweeping videos of the area, the job sites they're on, which is good, which is great. But what we need to do is, again, structure this in a way that we're actually going to get the best out of it. So social media on its own won't do you anything good, because of basically the platforms that you're on. So for example, Facebook, they're owned by the share market. They're trying to get as much profit out of them as possible. So 5 years ago, you'd post something on your Facebook page, and if you had 100 followers or 500 followers, you'd get like 80% of them would see what you're posting, okay? Now, basically all of that's gone away. You don't get much organic reach anymore, and you need to pay to play. So whilst it's good to be posting social content on your website, on your platforms like your Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. The platform doesn't matter. It could be TikTok. 5 years down the road, I'm sure there'll be another one. 10 years ago, there was Bebo, which was all big with the kids back then. So the platform's kind of going to come and go. But essentially what you need to know is how to back that strategy up with actually converting these eyeballs and these prospects, okay? So here we've got all of our social media posts, right? Typical example here, something like this. Hey, here's one of our clients who enjoys their room, yada, yada, yada. The posts, again, we've got lots of different ways you can do posts. We've got a full, Bible on how we do all these social media posts. So that by itself, sure, that's good, but we want to make sure that we're converting those people into leads, okay? So where we go next, essentially, is we need to follow up all of our social media efforts with what we call retargeting or remarketing ads. So what that is essentially is on the platforms, and basically all of them have it, is you can set up an ad that says, show this ad to only the people who have engaged on my page or my platform, okay? And you can set that to 7 days, 14 days, etc. And what that means is when somebody comes to your Facebook page, or whether they find you through your general posts that you're doing, once they disappear from there, immediately they'll start seeing ads, okay? And the reason we do that is because people are going to come to your, they'll find you, they might be shared or tagged or whatever, and they find your posts, and then they disappear and they're gone for good. So we want to make sure that you start showing them offers as soon as they come into your world. So what that looks like is we've got a bunch of ways you can do that. One of those ways is an ad like this, which is what we call our quick grab. This can either work by itself or can be as a retargeting ad, which runs nonstop and forever, okay? So basically all this does is just has good ad copy to it, tells them what you do, tells them to basically book a consultation with you, right? And then they get this little button down the bottom. They can click, they can fill in their name, email, phone number, details of the project, and street address. Okay, so you capture all that details. Most of it's pre-filled by Facebook anyway, or LinkedIn or whatever platform, and that comes through to you as a lead. So now your social media efforts haven't been wasted because you've, again, squeezed the orange. You've shown this ad to people who have already seen your social media stuff, and they are shown an ad, they fill out the form, and they come through. You can ultimately put them through the sales process and the qualification process. With me so far? Any questions? All good. Again, feel free to chuck questions in the chat box as we go, and I can round back to them at the end. That part of things. The next one here is our website, okay? So a website's a big commit. Most of you have a website. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are ugly. Some of them are really effective. Ultimately, your website, the core purpose of your website is to replace you as a portion of the salesperson, okay? So when people come to your website, they need to be educated on why you are the builder of choice to build their home or renovate their home or do whatever you're trying to do with them, okay? So we call that a conversion piece. So this, the social posts, the Google ads, the referrals, that's all the traffic. Then we have the conversion. So the conversion is the website. right? Which is going to educate them on why you're the best person to do the work for them. Okay. So we want a direct response website. I can show you some examples in a minute. But what we have here is two ways that people come through the website directly. So the first one here is through Google Ads or AdWords, right? And you've probably already seen those when you type anything into Google, you get these top ads at the top of the page here, and you can see it says ad next to it, right? So whether it's home extension, whether it's renovation, whether it's, new build, whether it's development, whether it's whatever, people come here, they type a query in, and Google will automatically show your ads in there if they're all set up properly and all that kind of thing. So that's one piece of the puzzle. The other piece that we have is our SEO or our search, organic search type of thing. Now, this is something I wouldn't recommend to most of you because it's going to take a long time to actually get into play. Most of the time, I recommend that we do some social ads first, followed by some Google ads. And then, 6 to 12 months later, we look at the SEO side of things because it has such a long time frame to actually get results from. So if we scroll down here, these ones obviously don't have ad next to them. And this is where some of these organic results for your business to show up on the first page. So the difference being these top ones you pay for every click that comes through. These ones here are all free, but obviously you put a lot of effort into getting these people to get into the top page, right? So those are our three traffic avenues here. Social, website, referral. Example of the referrals, I had one here. You guys might have seen it, you might have not. Basically, it could be a flyer, could be an ad, could be a conversation with somebody. Basically, what this is hey, you refer us a client, okay? And when they sign the contract, all said and done, we'll give you a referral fee, and that can be either whatever way you want to do it for tax purposes. Could be a flight voucher, could be a holiday, could be a gift of a TV or a laptop or a whatever, or it could be cold hard cash, whatever you want to do there. So 3 avenues. All good so far? Thumbs up, thumbs down, question mark? Cool, awesome. That is essentially the 3 avenues that we want to have. We want to have 2 out of those 3 at all times, okay? So most of you will have some form of referrals, but it's not systemized, okay? So we want to make sure that those referrals are systemized in a way that they keep coming through regularly, right? All the clients that we have, we ask for referrals. All the designers that we have, where we've got a process for people to come through. We want to formalize that process so that it's not just sporadic, as and when it happens. Then we want to basically have one of these other avenues up as well, or both in an ideal world, okay? So if you don't have a website and if you don't have anything going yet, the first and foremost way that you can do this, and the easiest way to do this, is through your social, okay? From here, we go on Facebook and their ads manager there, and we set up an ad, which also runs on Instagram. They're both owned by Facebook themselves, or Meta, whatever they want to call themselves, all right? So what we do is we skip the social part, we go straight to the ad, okay? And if you don't have any marketing assets in place, you can do this in less than an hour. Go to the platform, follow the training that I've done, got the ad copy, everything ready to go. You can use stock images, and you get one of these ads up, which looks exactly like this, okay? Basically sells people on why they should book a consultation with you. So that way we're not getting them through for a free quote. We're not getting them through to download an ebook. We're saying, if you're looking to do something with your project, okay, come to us, let's have a consultation, let's talk about your project, and let's, move this thing forward, okay? So it's a big difference between a lot of stuff that people do. They're going, hey, check out our ebook, or like when you sign up to Home or House or Home Advisor or Builders Crack or any of those big sites, what they're doing is saying, compare a quote from 3 different contractors, right? All of those things really matter, because if they're coming through to compare a quote, they're coming through not serious. Whereas if we're doing an ad here, which says come through for a consultation, they're coming through expecting to go through the formal process, all right? From there, kind of like I showed you before, they come through from Facebook or Instagram, and they come through, and you can basically get them to come through and fill a form, or you can send them to Messenger and have a conversation with them one-on-one, okay? So for those of you that don't have anything in place right now, you can do this in 1 hour. I guarantee it'll get you results, okay? All you do is show this to everybody in your local neighborhood. The pros of this is it gets leads really, really quickly and really, really cheaply. The downside is it's not consistent, okay? So you might get a month, you might get 3 months out of it, but there's only this many people in your local area. And once those people see it a few times, they'll ignore it, or they'll get blind to it, and it'll stop working, okay? Because there's only this many people that are ready to put their hand up on the social media side of things, okay? So if you got nothing, follow this avenue first and just write a note down that this is what you need to do first and foremost, okay? So now moving on to the Rolls Royce, or the next few steps here. What we want to do is have a look at how people go through this critical path, essentially. So the next step after doing that immediate social stuff is we move on to the Google Ads side of things. Okay, and the reason for that is we can basically say, hey, Google, here's some money, put it in your pocket, give me some customers, right? Yes, you have to pay for it, same as everything else in life, but they send you eyeballs, and as long as you've got the way to convert those into leads, you can basically get leads within 24 hours to a week, get this stuff rolling, okay? The thing with the AdWords is it can take a month or two to get really efficient. So it's going to cost you a lot of money to start with. Once you start dialing it in, it's going to get a lot more efficient and effective, right? And the thing we want with this is to get it to a point where it's really consistent and it just works for us every single month. We don't need 100 leads. We just need, somewhere between 4 and 8 of the right leads every single month to come in so that we can progress 1 or 2 of those into a quote and ultimately sign them at the other end, okay? But the maths on this works really well. Even if it's $250 a lead, you get 10 of those leads, you sign 1 of them. It's only costing you $2,500 for a new job, right? And you should all be doing jobs at a bigger size than, kitchens and bathrooms. You should all be doing those larger dollar sale jobs, okay? And what we call return on ad spend is really good because you put $2,500 in and you get $500,000 back out for a decent size extension, all right? With me so far? Everybody know what Google Ads is? Cool. Let's ignore search for the meantime because that's something that we do later on. Okay. So what happens from here is we can either send them from these ads, we can either send them to a landing page or we can send them through to a blog post. Okay. There's 2 reasons we do it like that. The blog post is going to pre-educate people that, we're essentially experts in the field, but it takes a longer period of time to get this into play. So again, this is something we'll do later on. The first thing you should do is send them through to a landing page, which looks like this, okay? Essentially, what we're doing is putting an ad up. We're saying, hey, home extension, come and see us. They click there, takes them through to a landing page, right? That landing page is specific for the type of work that they're looking for. So if someone's looking to build a new house, you're not going to send them through to your renovations page, obviously, because then they're just going to click away and disappear because the information is not relevant. So on this landing page, this is the first step in the process. And what we do here is we basically tick off all the things on our website in a summarized way. So you can see here, we've got a bit of a lead in here as far as, is renovating still on your home still on the to-do list, etc. A bit of info at the start. We've already got a call to action on the right-hand side for an ebook, right? So people can click here immediately, download your guide, and they become a lead with name, email, phone number. There we go. We've got the lead. That's the most important thing. Then you follow them up, put them through the sales process, okay? The next thing we have is some trust, right? Some images of the work we've done. Why choose us? It's really important. Why should they choose you over anyone else? Right? There's a 20 or so different builders in the area, and you need to differentiate yourself as to why they should choose you. That's an entire new topic for another day, or there's a membership training on that. How we work with you, right? People want to know that you've got a process that you work with people. You're not just going to turn up and start swinging hammers and demoing their house. They want to know that you're going to go through this process. So this is a very simple way to do it. There's other ways you can break it down into more detail, but people want to know that you've got a process and that you've got a system that you work through. Okay. Then we've got testimonials. Ideally, we put video testimonials on here. And then most importantly, we have what are the next steps. Okay. So too often we go to someone's website, and I'm sure if I picked any one of you guys on here and had a look at your website, this is pretty common across everybody. There's no section in here like this. It goes straight to the bottom with a footer, okay? It's pretty standard. Everybody's got a footer on their website. But what happens is people get to your page, they scroll down here, they're going, cool, looks good, whatever. And then they get to the footer and they're like, oh, that's the end, okay? And they disappear. So it's really important that we treat people like idiots and we go, what are the next steps from here? Well, there's only 3 things you can do, okay? First thing you can do is request a free design and build consultation, or they can fill out a form and become a lead, essentially. You can book them in for a consultation, right? And they click there and they can go through to your consultation form. The next thing they can do is, hey, maybe they're not ready to book a time with you, okay? Maybe they're just looking for some more info and they want to do this in a few months' time. That's cool. We still want to grab details as well. That's why we have the ebook, because these people are not going to come through and turn into money right away. They're more of like a 3, 6, 9, 12 month kind of burn. And we know that when we keep following these people up. They're going to come back to you because you're top of mind, okay? And you're the one that gave them some helpful info in the first place. So that's why we have that one. And that's option number 2. Or the third option is, hey, maybe you just got a question. Do you do work in my area? Do you do this type of work, etc.? And we just have a simple web form on here, okay? So 3 ways people can get in touch with us, and we want to do that with whatever they are most comfortable with. But either way, we want to be capturing that lead. All right, everybody with me still? Landing pages, tick. Awesome. Go back to our big map here. That is the landing page all done, okay? If we have a look at the blog post, we've got an example here as well. I'm sure you've all seen a blog post, informational based, gives them some helpful info, etc. But again, really important that we've got a way for people to get in touch with us or become a lead on those blog posts as well. So if you're going to be doing this stuff in the future, just make sure you've got a call to action in a button or a web form on the page as well, all right? So from our landing page, they can either do one of 2 things. They can either book a consultation, right? Or they can download the ebook. We're going to go through the ebook path right now because we can also have ads on our social, sending them back to the ebook or guide, right? So you can have an ad on your social side of things that says, hey, get our free guide. It'll help you do ABC or understand the risks of, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so they're going to come through to your free guide or your free ebook. So what we do from here is we send them to what we call a landing page or an opt-in page or a squeeze page. There's lots of different names for this, but essentially what this is this is a very, very simple and blank page with just the information that they need. So let's back up a step here and we'll go to Ferguson Builders. All right, just got lots of different examples for you just to show that this is not a one-trick pony and this works across multiple different members, okay? So if someone gets to Ferguson Builders website, hopefully it's going to show me the pop-up again. Probably not because I've already been here. What happens is there's a pop-up on the page and there's also a way for people to click through and get the guide. What happens is they click through to here, and I just want to show you the difference. This page, all right, versus every other page on the website. Can anybody tell me the difference between these 2 pages, the most important difference here? Show of hands, comment box, anything? No? You're all good? Okay, I got your back, don't worry. Have a look at the top here. We've got, when I hover over top of this logo, you can click it and it goes to the homepage. Like everybody knows, when you go to a website, you can click a logo, it takes you back to the homepage. They've got a navigation menu up here. They've got lots of places you can click and get distracted. When we go through to this ebook page, this is what we call an opt-in page or a squeeze page. And the reason for that is we take away all other options. You've only got 2 options from here. Fill in your details or scram, all right? And what this does is it ends up making a higher conversion rate on the people that fill out the form because you give them one option, right? They've already clicked through, they've taken that first step. When they get to this page, we say, hey, here's a free guide that's going to help you understand A, B, and C. Cool, helpful information. We've got a bit of social proof here and a testimonial, all right? And from here, there's nothing you can do. There's no footer, there's no header, you can't get distracted. You fill out your name and your email, and then that guide gets sent to your email inbox. The next page that they go to is a thank you page, right? So we go back to our map here. That's the ebook page, or that's the guide page. Then goes to what we call an offer or an upsell page, okay? From here, if we were to send them to the application page or the consultation page or basically a contact form, the rate that people are going to fill that out and book a consultation with you is going to be a lot lower because they don't really understand what the value is that you're going to do on that consultation, right? So we send them through to this next step, which is our thank you page. So it says, hey, you're in the right place. Your PDF's on the way to your inbox, check that in a minute. But while I've got you, if you're thinking of building an architectural home in Queenstown, schedule your free no obligation call with Rob. We're going to do A, B, and C, all right? Here's our guarantee. So it's just basically reinforcing a lot of the stuff that you're going to do on this consultation and pre-selling this consultation a lot harder so that, again, if they just download the guide and they're ready to go, that's fine, they can leave. Or people go, okay, maybe that would actually be helpful. I would like to, book time with Rob and chat about my project. What they can do is click the button, which then goes through to the next page. Again, very blank page. You got one option. Thank you for the interest. Request a thing, fill in the form below, right? And in here, we've got a bit more of a long form that they can fill out. So again, it's got name, email, phone number. Ideally, all that information gets pulled through from the previous page, right? Do you have plans, drawings? What's your budget estimated? Do you have finance in place? When are you looking to get started? Tell us about your project, then how did you hear about us? So This form can be a lot longer because, you know, we're looking to get information about them, make sure that we can qualify them a lot harder. But this is our consultation page, right? And from here, you could either end it here or you can go a step further. And once they fill out this form, you can get them to book into your calendar, okay? So all these little micro commitments, getting people to go through the process. How many people have had an inquiry come through to the website or through to them at all? Hands up. Cool, that's good. If you haven't had any inquiries, we need to really talk about that because that could be a problem. So when people come through, how many times have you had that lead go cold, right? So you try and reach out to them, the number's no good, or you know, you've tried them 20 times on the phone, you sent them an email and they don't reply. How many people have ghosted you? Yeah, show of hands. Cool, happens all the time, right? People come through, they're on a buying streak or they've got momentum, right? The next thing that they do is they bail out and they go, cool, I've done my bit. I'm waiting for, you know, John, Richard, Hayden, Jed to give me a call and book this thing in or have a chat, right? Problem with that, again, is you just end up playing tag or cat and mouse, trying to get people locked into a time. So ideally what we do is once they've filled out the form, we go, cool, last step is to schedule your call with us, okay? And then this goes back to your default diary as far as when you're doing your sales calls, and you can have an automated calendar just like this, where people can go, okay, cool, I've filled out the form. The next time that I can talk to, you know, Cam or John or Peter or whoever is on the 27th. Okay, well, I'll book that time in there. Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'm busy in the morning, so that doesn't work. So yeah, lunchtime sounds good. So let's book in for lunchtime, click confirm, fill in your details, right? So then what happens is they get reminders that come through to them. You've got the time in your calendar. It automatically sends them a calendar invitation, and the likelihood of connecting with this person goes through the roof because, again, they've committed to a time that they know you're going to call them. You know when you're going to call them, and that cat and mouse sort of disappears, right? So whilst this is an optional step that you don't have to do, it definitely improves the likelihood of converting these people into ultimately a consultation or a sales call. All right, so we've just covered off the application and the calendar, and then basically what happens from there is they either go through to just a basic thank you page, hey, cool, you're all confirmed, we'll look forward to chatting to you at that time, or they just get redirected back to the website and you're all set and done. Okay, from there, put them into the sales process. Again, a whole nother conversation for another day, but that's the entire process, guys. Does that all make sense and how that all fits together? Yep, awesome, I like that. So basically what we can do from here is just open up a Q&A, anything you guys want to cover off. The biggest barrier tends to be getting all the tech set up, actually knowing how to do all this stuff. Hence why I have all the examples here to show you guys. So the biggest thing you can do from here as the main action point is I'm going to post this into the Facebook group after this, okay, this big map. And what I want you to do is either print it off or get it on your computer, and I want you to highlight the next step that you're going to take. So Richard, maybe you've got your website up and you're going, oh, well, this all looks good. Maybe I'll just look at the calendar side of things, right? Or maybe Dan, you know, you just need to do one of those social media ads and get some quick wins under the belt, right? So what we want to do is just basically take this map, highlight the next step that you're going to do, and just get that done, and hit us up for whatever step you're looking to achieve, right, in the comments, and we'll link you through to the right place. So, you know, again, if you're looking to get one of those social media ads in place, we've got the ad copy, we've got the instructional video and everything on how you can set that up, right? And we can send that through to you. You'll have it done in an hour, right? If you want to do one of these other steps, again, we can point you in the right place. We've got an automated, web form that we can share with you for this application form. We've got a thing on the calendar side of things here. I've shot a video on that. So we've got all the resources here that we can point you towards and what you need first. But does that all make sense? Is everybody happy to pick the next step that they need to logically work on? We're good with that? Cool. So again, like I mentioned at the start, this is the Rolls Royce. What we don't want you to do is look at it and go, oh man, that's a bunch of work I need to do. Well, we just want to tick off one thing at a time. All right, get a quick one under the belt and then progress forward, because a lot of people come through and they go, Cam, I need to get a website done. And I'm like, how much work you got ahead of you? And they're like, oh, like a month, 6 weeks. And I'm like, you don't need a website. You need to go and get some more leads and get some quick wins, right? The stuff takes time, and it's a matter of just stacking these wins so that they all fall into line, okay? So yeah, feel free to chuck some questions into the box, right? The only other thing is, if you really hate all this stuff and you don't want to do it, like we have an internal agency as well. I do marketing for our members. We can take care of this for you. We can build a website for you. We could do the marketing on the traffic for you. We don't really care if you use us or not. We just only have that service because I got sick of people coming through and saying, hey, I spent $5,000 last month and I got no leads, all right? and it shits me nothing worse than seeing people waste money on advertising. Okay, so I'll open up the floor now. Feel free to unmute yourself or chuck a question in the box. We can do some Q&A.
Quick question here from James Stewart. Are blogs still an effective way of obtaining quality leads?
Yeah, 100% works. Like the thing with blogs is that you're aiming for people to come through for free typically, or you can send paid traffic through to a blog. The way you want to do that is in that blog, have a structure that people are going to go through to be educated, whilst also being pre-sold on you guys and having a call to action at the end. So there's that part of it. But then the other part of it is, yes, they're effective, but ultimately you need to be able to have people see those blog posts as well. So if you have a look at any one of these search results on Google, right, and then you go and have a look at some of these companies and in the back end, check out all the specs and stuff like that, it takes a long time to rank or get in these natural positions on Google. And hence why we don't focus on it, because it's such a slow burn that it's something you want to focus on last, so that instead of paying Google for the ads side of things, you can get the traffic for free. So 100% works. Problem is just super slow, right? Does that answer your question?
Yeah, James. Justin, you just unmuted yourself. Did you have a question?
Not really. I'm sort of just digesting everything at the moment. We're probably, we're not quite ready to go live. We're just in the middle of getting a whole heap of house plans priced up and stuff, and we're sort of just gathering a bit of information for the moment.
Cool, awesome. Well, at least you know how it all fits together and things like that. You know,
we engaged a marketing company a while back, and we've got a website built sitting there, but I don't actually really want to advertise at the moment because I've got enough work and I've run out of homeowners warranty insurance at the moment. So I'm just kind of using the opportunity while I'm busy to, streamline and get organized so that when I do launch my website, I can actually do what we're talking about here.
Awesome. That makes sense. One thing I'd say is that you can get the website live. The website itself, like I say, is not going to get you more leads, right? The traffic or the eyeballs coming through and seeing your website is what's going to ultimately get you the leads. So if you get the website live, at least you get the benefit of having people see it. So it can help with the existing clients that you've got, just to show them that you're more professional, show them examples of your work. So it can do a lot of the heavy lifting other than the lead generation side, right? If you can get it live and make some edits after that.
We've got the landing page up and running, so that's sitting there, and we are getting a few contacts through it. But that's kind of all. We've just gone through a rebrand, and so I'm just kind of sitting still at the moment because I'm still developing all the content for the website.
Cool. Oh, that makes sense. Well, if you need anything, feel free to shoot through to us. We've got a website checklist, about 42 points on there that you need to tick off. And ultimately, it all comes down to having those marketing pillars on there: your magic story, how we work with you, process, team pictures, all that kind of stuff.
I'd like to see that checklist, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. We'll get that shot through after this. Dan, you all good there, man?
Yeah, I think so. Just working on a bit of everything, really. We don't need any leads at the moment either, but I want to set it up now so that when we do, we can just click the button.
Yeah, 100%. And what I actually forgot to show you guys was the reason that we obviously want to do all this, regardless of if you've got work going on or not. So all of these leads come through into a CRM, right? And they organize into like a leads whiteboard or a sort of pipeline of all these prospects, okay? The reason we want to have this coming through consistently and just have it going rather than going, oh, I've got too much work, don't want to deal with it, is you see how there's a balance between all these different columns here, okay? What we don't want to happen is any of these columns to dry up or any of the stages in the pipeline to dry up, because ultimately all you're going to end up doing is going, oh shit, I need some more work, and have to fill up the first one. Or maybe you've got all these people sitting here and you go, oh, sheesh, we need to start quoting some work. And then it gets to the point of pricing and you've got nothing in there. And then you all of a sudden get 8 quotes that you need to do in 1 week. So it's about keeping this super, super balanced. And ideally the pipeline looks like this, right? And you have a bit of an overview. Should always be the way that there's more at the top coming in. And then as you qualify them, it gets smaller, right? And as you push them through the process, it gets smaller and smaller. But ultimately that's what it should look like, as a tapering view of, let's get lots of leads in the front, qualify them super hard so that we only deal with the best ones, and then making sure that we keep that pipeline super, super consistent so that it don't end up, working too hard at any stage of the process